Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Ann with Andale Homestead.
Good morning, everyone. It is Casey over at Ormsby Farm.
And I'm Monica from Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
Y'all, this is so exciting. We're back for a second season of this radio show. We had so much fun doing it last year. We are so excited to get back. We have a lot of exciting news, ladies, to talk about.
Do.
Yes, we
First,
do.
I know that a lot of people are probably noticing that Alicia is not here. Alicia and her husband, Papa Jim, have taken this year off, and they are going to travel all around the country. So we are so excited for them. We will miss her, but we kind of have an exciting kind of news. We posted something on our Instagram, and we've had a lot of Inspector Gadgets that have been wondering who it is. And so I think I have a little something to play for all of those that are wondering who it is. We're back.
And now live every Friday.
With new topics and a new time.
Don't forget, a new host.
Yay, that's right. Sandy joins the panel for Hey Y'all Hey radio show.
Now, on Fridays at 11 a.m. Central.
We'll see y'all there.
That's right. Let's welcome on to the host panel, Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
We're so excited.
Hey, Sandy, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be a wonderful year.
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you.
Y'all, let me tell you. So most of y'all know that we pre-record our podcast episodes. So we actually have started recording with Sandy, and we were like little school kids giggling the whole time,
Yes.
recording with her because she is a wealth of knowledge, and it is such an honor to have her on our panel of hosts and on the podcast. So welcome, Sandy. We're so excited. So this is exciting.
Well, have any of you ever saw the movie Little Women? And Lori at one point says, I always knew I should be part of the March family. So for me, I always knew I should have been part of Around the Hay Bale and Hey Y'all Hey radio show.
Yay.
Yay, I love that so much.
Me too. Me too. It's such an exciting time. And this is our first episode of the live radio show for season 5. And so I'm just tickled to pieces that we can all be back together again.
Yeah, it's kind of hard after you break for a little bit. You like miss everybody. You like miss the normal, because we were recording podcasts. We were recording every Tuesday, and it was like several hours. The time that we spent together online, it was a lot. And so, yeah, I am super excited to be back in the studio recording the podcast too. It's super fun to just get together and see you guys again, and then see Sandy. And oh my goodness, we had such a good time yesterday. Just doing our first couple episodes, and man, I'm excited about the whole season because we really are getting, digging in deep this season. We're really getting in there and talking about some really great topics.
We really are. And so, all right. We do have quite a few friends in here today. We are blessed to be able to co-stream at this time. StreamYard has helped us be able to do that. Hey, Alicia, Country Mama Musing, and Troy, we're so glad you're here. So we have this particular episode is streaming to multiple platforms on multiple channels, and it's only going to be going up from here.
Y'all, I'm just trying to, if I missed you, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to click on everyone's and say hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
I was going to say, let's see so we've got Alicia, we've got
I know you said I'm
Troy,
clicking so fast.
We've got It All Adds Up. Wonderful. Thanks for coming in. Cynthia, thank you for coming in. Lewis Acre Farm, Karma. And then we've got, oh my goodness, look, from Minnesota over there. This is so awesome to see everybody. Rebecca, Touched by Yarn, is in here. And who else? Davis. Who else is in here, Miss Ann? Are you seeing everybody?
I'm seeing everybody. It's absolutely fabulous. The Vineyard Farmhouse is here. Mr. Brian, how do? It all adds up. And I did want to share, and so that you can plan your day as well as you're listening in today, that what we're doing is we're going to try to stay around 30 minutes for our podcast here on the live radio show. So that way you'll have a little heads up of knowing what kind of commitment you've come in to be able to talk to us. We do get a little chatty, so it might be a little bit more longer than 30. Such a good time being together. So,
I was about to
Sandy,
say us chatty. No,
No way.
no way.
Well, there's
Yeah.
Jesse in here. Hey, Jesse.
there's my buddy Ann Francisco and Heather from Milk and Honey. We're just tickled to have everybody here. Jesse, thank you for being here. And so, Sandy, we're so tickled that you're here and such a plethora of information. Last, our first podcast that's coming out. When is that coming out, Casey?
It's going to come out on Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time.
And how will they find that? Because I am so technically challenged.
You know, I have joined that technically challenged and also speaking challenged on figuring out how to do it. But if you want to go ahead, there's a big giant white arrow. If you open your phone, scan that QR code, it will take you to our Linktree link. And there are multiple fun links under that where you can listen to us on Apple. You can listen to us on Spotify. And we will be going live, not actually live, but the podcast will go live on YouTube every Monday as well, under the new podcast platform of YouTube. So there's multiple ways to listen to us, and it's going to be a lot of fun. These topics are really good, y'all.
And they'll find us on Round the Hay Bale channel as far as for the podcast. Is that correct?
You sure will. It will go on our Round the Hay Bale YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribing. You're hitting that bell so you're notified when new podcasts are dropped. And our podcasts are going to be a little bit shorter this year as well. It's going to be about 30 minutes because we want to really dig deep into the most downloaded topics that we've had over the past 4 years on the podcast. So it's going to be an exciting season.
That sounds great. And Monica, how did we choose our subjects?
You know, honestly, I think we just picked a bunch out of a hat. No, I'm joking. So I wanted to say hi to Charles, by the way, too. I also, when we went to pick out our different topics, we really talked about what we wanted to kind of dig into. We've skimmed over a lot of things over the seasons. We've really discussed a variety of topics, but we really thought about it more. And I think it made sense to start to kind of dig a little deeper and really condense some of the information, or really speak more closely about the information that we needed to. So also wanted to say too, that if you are, because we're in so many different platforms, if you're over at Round the Hay Bale channel and you see us there's only like 2 people watching from that one. So you're not going to see all the interaction and comments. So whenever we have some more comments or things happening, we'll make sure we put it up on the screen, because we are on so many platforms. You may not see all the interactions throughout the whole thing. So just to keep everybody up to date on that. That's why you're not seeing all the people that are in here, because we've got about 25 people watching now between all the different platforms. So you can interact with people on different platforms and see what's going on.
Hey, my David. I'm so glad everybody's here. Yes. And so it is a little confusing. We can explain this the first time. There's a lot of people that already know, but if you're on Facebook, you don't see YouTube's comments, and vice versa. If you're on my channel or Sandy's or Monica's or Casey's, then we get to see everyone's comments, but that's the only channel of the comments that you will see. So popping them up is how we get to share with everybody that everyone is here.
Exactly. Oh, looks like we've got some soil brothers and soil sisters in here. We've got Black Tropical Homesteads in here.
Hey, Black's Tropical, my Sherry, my Cherie. I'm so glad you're here. So, Sandy, I learned a lot from you on the last podcast that we did that we'll be releasing on Monday. What was our subject? What did we do?
We were talking about water glassing eggs.
Yes.
It's a fascinating subject because there's times in the year that you have so many extra eggs. What are you going to do with them?
Right.
Right.
I learned a lot of things that I did wrong.
Well, no, for those that are listening, me and Ann Dale are going to be the newer bees. The newer bees, I think that's not a word, Casey, but
The
we'll go
newer
with it.
bees.
The newbies on water glassing, and then you had Monica and Sandy who have done it before many times. It has been really exciting to learn as I go, but
Yes.
that episode was so much fun yesterday. Now I'll tell y'all know if you followed me for a while that I have terrible internet, and it was a struggle bus, but I got to listen and I got to write down notes, and that's all that matters, really.
There you go. There you go. And Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa says, I can tell you what to do. You can eat them or you can freeze dry them. Oh, I want a freeze dryer so
Yeah,
desperately.
not everybody has a freeze dryer, Jesse. I think,
That-
wait, did any of us have a freeze dryer on this panel? Miss Sandy, do you have a freeze
No.
dryer?
No, I'd like one though.
Yes, we would really love a freeze dryer.
Me
So
too.
anybody out there
Harvest
listening,
Right. Come on, send them out.
we're all raising our hands saying,
we will
Yes.
Harvest
review them.
Right. Pew, pew, pew. Black
Pew
Tropical
pew
says.
pew.
Yeah,
That's
we would
right.
definitely. I'll definitely take a freeze dryer to do some reviews on. I think I would put that to very good use over here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now,
And
what
so-
about in the chat? Has anybody water glass eggs in the chat? And we'll pull up some comments. Does anybody
There
have
we
any
go.
questions on water glassing eggs? Because I
Right.
mean, you got. I said that I'm a professional now after doing it once, but
Yeah.
we
Black
won't go into that. My delusion.
Black's Tropical does have a link on their channel as well that you can get some discounts on their freeze dryers. I can
She's
say
saying they're on sale. She's saying,
that. Yeah, just saying. Me too, Karma. I want a freeze dryer. And so some of the things that are questionable as far as water glassing eggs, I'm going to eat them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I may have done a thing the Ann Dale way, but I am still going to eat them. They look amazing. But there was something about how you put them in the position of the eggs or in the temperature of the water. What was that?
You want to have your eggs pointing down. The maximum temperature you want 65 degrees, but optimal. If you could have it 33 to 45 degrees, those eggs will just last you and last you and last you. And I really think that when they listen to the podcast on Monday, they're going to go, that's something I can do. I'm not afraid anymore. I got answers to my questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So true. So true.
And so I was concerned about temperature of the room, but I do have our extra bedroom we've turned into the pantry, and we very rarely open the door or have lights on. It's the coolest room in the house, which sounds good. But pointing them down. Now, you and Monica were sharing with Casey and I, being new, that having them pointed down, and also I put the eggs in before the water. I understand you're supposed to put the water in and then the eggs, but what is the reason for pointing the eggs down?
so I think that didn't Casey, or did we talk about that? I think it was the
did.
fact that you are able to keep the yolk more centered, right? And then
And to keep it away from bacteria.
Yeah, because that air sac is actually where the bacteria, I guess, comes in first. And
Right.
the air sac is at the more rounded portion, not the pointy end, right? I think that's what we were talking about.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Mm-hmm. And, I think that's the same thing when you're storing your eggs too. I think we talked a little bit about that when you're even storing your eggs, whether it be in the refrigerator or unwashed eggs on your counter, that you should store them pointy side down for that reason.
Hmm.
And I think we also talked about, because, I was that person. I was that newer person. Now, you want to water glass eggs that are farm fresh. Don't go to Walmart and, pick up the $1.99 eggs and think you're going to be able to water glass those, because I hate to break it to you, you not.
Yeah.
So
Because they're already washed. right?
Yes, they're already washed
Oh,
and the bloom
yeah.
is gone.
Mhm. And so Sandy was sharing something about the lime, the particular lime. Sandy, what was that about?
Well, you want to make sure that you're using a pickling lime like you would use for making pickles. Don't go to the hardware store and buy lime there. That is not the same kind of lime. You want to be careful. You want to be safe. And
Right.
it's just so easy. You measure 1 ounce of the pickling lime to 1 quart of water. You're going to mix it up. That's going to go on your eggs.
Mhm, mhm. And I remember when I did that, when I did the water glassing, I did put the eggs in the container only because I was scared that I would overflow the container. And then I got a quart of distilled water or fresh water, wasn't really tap water, but I understand you can use that. And then put the 1 ounce of lime, pickling lime in there. And then I would continue as I kept adding eggs, I would continue to add the mixture. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you always want at least 2 inches above. And so on Monday, you're going to find all this information and it's just going to be like mind blowing. Okay. I got half-gallon jars. I have gallon jars. I can do this with my eggs.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's not hard. It's really it's really easy, you guys.
It really is. You know, one thing that I found out after we had our conversation yesterday is that now I don't know if anybody's ever water glassed and then boiled the eggs. Like, hard boiled egg that you've
Right.
water glassed.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading, because I was wondering about that, and I was reading that you should probably poke a little hole or, I don't know, that thing you do, Miss Ann, where you kind of crack it a little bit, you break that air seal.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, so when you do that, you actually make like hairline cracks in the actual, you actually create like a hairline crack in the eggshell itself. Well, when you do that, you actually kind of break that seal a little bit. Well, doing that will actually be better for you because it says that because the hydrated lime can actually coat those eggs and really seal in those pores of that egg, if you are not careful and don't kind of crack that little shell a little tiny bit, or at least put a hairline in there, it could actually explode when you
Oh,
hard boil it.
That would be
oh,
crazy.
brilliant.
I kind of want to try it though. Isn't that bad that I want to try it both ways?
Why was I just thinking that? Like, oh, I really want to try to see if it's going to explode.
Well,
I
that's what
know.
I was gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Boil
just
'em.
make sure you do your little popping thing that you normally do and then go it that way. But yeah, I think that yeah. I
And
want to do it now. I want to go boil some eggs outside, maybe.
yeah.
And
See
see
if it
if it
works.
explodes. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't talk about much on the podcast, but what does everyone use their water glass eggs for? Because everyone always says they're probably not great to do as an over easy because of the yolk not being as solid. But what do y'all use your water glass eggs for? I know to eat, and I'm probably going to see that in the comments is to eat. But what are the best ways to use it for?
I like to use it when I'm baking.
Oh yeah.
And you're always going to look at the egg. You're going to wash it off good. You're going to crack it into a bowl. Make sure it smells good. But it just is wonderful. Like you're baking cakes, cookies, whatever you need. And I liked it that you can water glass any kind of egg. So Monica, those duck eggs,
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah,
Oh.
those dirty duck eggs that I still do anyway. We use ours in baking all the time. That's basically what we use ours for. I keep my water glass egg. That's the main reason why I water glass eggs is because I want to have them for baking in the winter time when there is lack of eggs from my animals and because when I want to make sure that Eric has some baked goods. So yeah, I love to use mine for baking.
Yeah.
Well, are they I mean, I've never eaten a water a water glassed egg before. So I'm a video soon to come, but are they good scrambled? Are they good like any other way? I'm sure they would be good no matter what, right?
Yes.
You can scramble them. Sometimes the texture is slightly different, but not really noticeable. What do you think, Monica?
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that it just depends on, how long you've had them sitting there too. Because sometimes I think that the texture tastes a little different the longer they've been glassed. But we use ours for scrambled eggs as well, and most of the kids don't notice a thing. I think the kids are they're the judgiest of all the judgers in our house. So they would be the ones that tell you this tastes so different. But I venture to say that if I actually had a comparison between the two, maybe I'll do a little short video on that, is can they tell the difference between water glassed scrambled eggs? Because I know they can't tell that difference in the baked goods. There's no difference at all. But in the scrambled, I wonder if they would notice. I don't think they have in the past, but it'd be interesting to do it and kind of have a control, so I know.
It would kind of also be fun if those that had water glassed eggs, next Friday on the morning show, pull out an egg and give it a little testy test live on the show, if everyone's down for that.
Well, I can do that. I'll say I can do that too.
Okay, sure. I mean,
somebody can do it.
I've been anxious to crack open an egg anyway.
Me too.
How long will they last? I don't know, Heather.
Between 12 and 18 months. I mean, that's what I've had the experience with, just depending. That's what it always says online anyway, between 12 and 18 months. I think most people actually eat them before they would even really go bad. But I have had some go bad on me. But for sure, I think, I know mine have lasted at least a year.
Oh, yeah, I agree. A year easily that they'll be fine.
Wow. That's just so wild to me. That's so wild.
I mean, they're not going to last as long as freeze-dried eggs, obviously, but.
Jesse says, you first, Casey, and tasted the water glass eggs.
I was about to say, because y'all know, I'm a drama queen all the way, so I will definitely be giving a full, real opinion of what they smell like, what they look like. I will. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'm down. I'm down. But I talked about this on the podcast yesterday. It was so interesting to know that the first reported, I guess, I don't know if it was a recipe or what it was, for water glassing eggs was the early 1800s.
Wow.
And that is how they preserved their eggs, of course, before refrigeration and all of that. So it was so interesting. It's a great article. It will be in our link for the podcast tomorrow, Monday. If you want to read it, but it was very, very interesting.
Did you see Heather's comment? She has some 3 years that she's forgotten about, and she's scared.
I think that was questionable.
Oh,
I would say they're definitely questionable. I would be like, well.
Oh, and you see Jess is egging it on, filming it.
yeah.
Oh, he's egging her on. Good one.
Yeah, but
Good one.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, but really, even if by some chance, although I'm sure mine are absolutely fine, how would I know if they're not?
They'll definitely have an odor. That's why you always crack them in a separate bowl.
Oh, okay.
You wash them very well because you don't want that lime on there. And then you're going to I inspect them. I look around, see what it looks like, no cracks in there. And then when you break it open, you'll know right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Have you ever done like a hard-boiled egg in the microwave?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, okay. Because it can be exciting. Let's just say this.
Is there
does
a
it
time?
explode?
I was going to say, is there a time at which it explodes if you go too long?
Everywhere.
No.
Yeah.
I think I smell science project.
Yes. I mean, you can do it. I just didn't do it right. You could do it. Sandy, how did yours come out? Yeah, that's a bomb. It is. It becomes a bomb.
Well, one year my mom gave me this little device to hard boil your eggs in your microwave.
Okay.
And so you I'm pretty sure we could put 4 of them in there. And it works okay. And I didn't have anything explode because it was contained. But I can very much see that if it was in there too long, you're going to have egg all over your microwave.
Oh my
And
gosh.
this is not
Yes.
going to be good.
No, no, no. I mean, I went to, I researched a quote unquote. So I watched YouTube videos and they didn't share with you all of the aspects of eggs,
Ah,
microwaving a boiled egg in the microwave because it goes everywhere.
yes.
Like at what time? Like how long does it take for it to explode though?
I was about to say, Monica just wants something to explode.
I don't
Somebody let
really.
Monica explode an egg.
I really
No,
don't need it to explode. We have
yeah.
enough adventures here, but I'm kind of wondering at what point does it just explode? Like, is it like a minute and a half? Is it like a 3-minute window? I mean, is there?
They say like 2.5 minutes, and at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, you hear, I mean, it sounds like a bomb going off. I can tell you. And you got little itty bitty bits of egg all over the place. So,
Oh, I'm super glad I have an instant pot for that. I don't ever boil just one egg at a time anyway, or need one egg at a time. So I don't ever hard boil one at a time. So thankfully, I always do like a massive amount. So I instant pot, hard boil all of my eggs, and go from
Yeah.
there.
good for you. Hey,
It's the
Cindy,
easiest way
sorry.
too.
It is.
Oh,
But it
well,
doesn't explode though. That's the bad part.
No.
yeah.
Isn't it interesting that for hundreds of years, people have been trying to preserve eggs because we always know that in the springtime, we're going to have that flux and you've got so many eggs going on.
Mhm.
And I read an article once that there used to be this company called Fleming's, and they had this gooey stuff that you would wrap around, you'd rub all over the egg, and it was supposed to last for 3 to 6 months.
Mm.
And so the idea, it is closing those pores, but you can't buy that product anymore. This was 100 and some years ago. And I mean, people have tried different things. They've tried Vaseline. I just don't find these things being a good steward of your eggs,
Right.
So do
Right.
it right. Use the pickling lime. Use cold water. If you're going to use tap water, you're better off boiling that tap water first and then cooling it all the way down.
Right. 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 Okay.
Where basically that would make it like just not really distilled, but close to distilled water.
Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
Sandy?
Yeah, it's getting a lot of impurities out of your water. And that's just when I use tap water, that's what I do. I boil it, get it all the way cool, because you want your water cold when you put your eggs with your eggs.
So can I I'm going to throw this out there because I want to see if anybody in the chat or if any of you ladies do this. Does anybody can water? Pressure can water?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell
I
you.
watched Miss Ann do it on a video. So yes, I know she does. I saw her pressure can water and I'm like, oh, I want a pressure can water and an electric pressure canner on my countertop. I can do
I'm
this.
telling you, it is so convenient. Season 1 of our podcast, we had Casey from Boots and Bounty on as a host. And I used to bug her all the time when I was learning to can. And I was like, I don't have enough to pressure can. She was like, Casey, if you don't fill up some quart jars with some water and put those in your pressure canner and stop texting me so much. So I did. And it's basically good to have on your canning shelves for wound care. And I thought in my mind when I'm hearing Sandy say, to boil the water, I'm like, maybe if I pop open one of those jars of the can water and put it in the fridge, that would be good water to use for water glassing. So
Yeah.
what about the chat? Has anybody in the chat canned water? Or am I just me and Ann just the crazy ones?
No, Jennifer has. She says she has. She does have excellent well water, a 20-foot hand well. I'm not sure what that means outside, so I don't really need it. But there are two schools of thought on canning water. One is if you have an empty jar, it's not helping you. And so while you have empty jars, fill them with water so that you always have plenty of water on hand. But where can we find your video of the water?
I'm gonna get that video right now and post it so that way you can see it. So give me 1 second and I'll post that link.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I was so excited about my electric canner, and I wanted to do something that would be fast. So, I mean, canning water is kind of fast, you know. So that was what the video was all about. I was just too tickled with that electric canner, which is quite controversial these days.
And we are talking about that on a podcast because we're going to try to get Sandy onto our little team here on being in love with our pressure canner, our electric pressure canner.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
she hadn't tried it yet. Have you, Sandy?
No, I have just got my regular old-fashioned pressure canners that I've used for, I don't know, 30 years. I
Well,
love
we,
them.
we need Nesco to send Sandy a electric pressure canner. You heard it
Yes.
here first. Come on, Nesco.
Yeah,
Send it
I
on.
will tell you, it's a great canner for sure. It helps me to can stuff that I would normally not can.
Right.
So I love that.
That you had to like stand and babysit the big pressure canner. This one is a set it and forget it, but we won't go too much into that because we will have an episode on it.
That's right. That's right. Well,
all righty, y'all.
yeah.
I think it is time to wrap it up, and I think we were both reading our minds.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
one
looking
thing
at that video and I can't find it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
That's
working
okay.
hard trying to find that video.
That's okay. One thing we want to make sure that if people want to find us, any of us, and Sandy's information from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, is going to be added on there today, is our Linktree link where you can find out all about all of us, find all of our channels, all of our videos on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And Round the Hay Bale has an Instagram channel and a YouTube channel. And do we have a Facebook channel?
We do. We have a Facebook as well.
Awesome.
So y'all definitely come back next Friday, and I'll be the first one, but I am going to have Ann and Monica pop up on screen and pull a water glassed egg. Make sure to tune in Monday at 9 a.m. Central for our very first episode of season 5 on water glassing eggs. And then we'll be back next Friday with another Hey Y'all Hey afternoon/morning radio show. Thank you, everyone who came in. Again, we're so excited to have Sandy join us. Be sure to subscribe to the Round the Hay Bale channel so you know when our podcasts come out. And we will see everyone next Friday on Hey Y'all Hey. Y'all have a great week.
Bye now.
Hey, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Round the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Ooh, we're really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time.
Are you enjoying the Hay Bale topics? To learn more, click on our Linktree link to get all of our product recommendations, along with discount codes and more. Are you enjoying the Hay Bale topics?